Fox Sports.
We are Black. We are Wisconsin.
The road trip continues in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We welcome you. Brewers baseball tonight. It's the Brew Crew and the Pittsburgh Pirates, and it is a block party Friday night. They're expecting a sellout crowd as the Brewers back in their road grays and Game 3 of this 8-game road trip. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from beautiful PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Great to have you with us tonight alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. We'll hear from Telly Hughes in a moment as well. Well, tonight the Brewers have Kyle LOHSE on the mound. They're coming off a big win yesterday. And, Rock, they have their hottest pitcher, their most consistent pitcher going tonight.
And not just the most consistent for the Brewers, maybe in all of baseball. I mean, Kyle LOHSE lost his first game. His first start at Miller Park against the Braves. He's won 7 consecutive decisions. He's had a bunch of great games in there, but none better than his last time out against the Cubs, a 3-hit shutout. And look at the pitch count, 93 pitches. LOHSE had 4 pitches working for him extremely well against the aggressive, swinging Chicago Cubs. Very similar to the style for these Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, Kyle LOHSE, you see where he ranks in the National League. He's 4th in wins right now, but he's 1 off the National League lead of that category. He's only given up 1 base runner per 9 innings. Kyle LOHSE has been on top of his game this year. Division rivals, Pirates, Brewers, coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. By Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. What a beautiful night for baseball tonight in the Bird, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 75 degrees here as we get this 3-game series started with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Brewers have had a lot of success against the Pirates this year. They have won 6 out of 7, and the Brewers now a 5-game lead in the National League Central. They're up 7 on the Pirates beginning play today. Milwaukee at 11 games over. Ron Reineke was very pleased with the way the game ended yesterday. The Brewers had a comeback win on the road in Minnesota, down 4-0. They came back and won yesterday, and now they hit the second leg of this 3-leg road trip against their division rivals. Here is his batting order today. Reineke's lineup brought to you by Associated Bank. Gene Segura leads off. Ryan Braun hits second. Then Jonathan Lucroy batting third. Middle of the order is Gomez, Ramirez, and Davis. Note that Ramirez plays third base tonight. And the bottom three, Scooter Gennett, Mark Reynolds, and Kyle LOHSE rounding it out.
Now, and that's the lineup that's going to face Brandon CUMPTON here today. He had good numbers down in AAA Indianapolis, 4-1 with a 135 earned run average in 6 starts. Came up on April 24th, took the rotation spot of Wandy Rodriguez, who's no longer with the ball club. He was going along pretty good until his last start, 3 2/3 against the Dodgers, gave up 10 earned runs. That's why you see that earned run average near 7.
The ERA buster against Los Angeles took his second loss. He's 0-2. The Menards Pirates defense behind him with Tabata, McCutchen, and Harrison in the outfield and infield of Alvarez, Mercer, Walker, and Davis, and Russell Martin, very talented catcher behind the plate for the Pirates. And noticeably absent here for the Pittsburgh Pirates, as you see the 4-man umpiring crew, is Starling Marte, and Rocky is a struggling hitter right now, and Marte is out of the starting lineup for the 3rd consecutive game, so that's a big athlete that the Brewers do not have to deal with here tonight.
Well, really burst onto the scene last year, one of the better rookies in the National League, but the 2nd consecutive series here in Pittsburgh that the Brewers are not going to deal with Starling Marte, at least here tonight. He missed a 4-game series earlier in the season against the Brewers, where they won 3 out of 4.
Gene Segura ready to lead off, and we're just about ready for baseball. They have a huge crowd still outside. Big party scene here before the game. Had the block party outside PNC Park, and they're still filing their way in. They're expecting a sellout, and the first pitch is in there for strike 1, and away we go tonight. It's great to see this ballpark full like it is. Baseball fever is back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, after their playoff run last year, snapping a 20-year drought. And school is out all across Pennsylvania, and this is the weekend that they were most looking forward to, as they'll pack this venue over the next 3 days, and they're still coming across the Roberto Clemente Bridge. Now Segura comes in batting .266. Has a couple of homers, 16 driven in. Reineke's going to stick with his lineup with Segura leading off as long as it continues to flourish. And it's been a good chunk of games now, going back to May 22nd in this particular setup. And now that Ramirez is back, you add one more power bat to the mix.
And now that he's back and playing third base, first time in a long time that the Brewers have had their full lineup intact. And coming off an 8-run outburst in yesterday's game at Target Field against the Twins.
Well, leadoff walk. First game at third base for the former Pirate, Aramis Ramirez, who was brought to the big leagues by Pittsburgh. Ryan Braun with Segura at first. I think the biggest question tonight, Rock, is who's going to get booed more loudly, Ryan Braun or Carlos Gomez tonight? We'll find out.
Well, when they were doing the starting lineups over the PA, Gomez didn't get much of a boo at all. Maybe they didn't realize what they were doing, but I would imagine after that big mix-up the last time these two teams met here, Gomez might hear it a little bit. Maldonado not in tonight's lineup. If he gets in, I imagine he's going to hear it too.
Now the Brewers were last here in mid-April, lost the first game of that 4-game series, then won the next 3 as Braun bounces one foul. And that series ended with a dramatic victory for the Brew Crew in 14 innings on Easter Sunday. Ryan Braun has had great numbers not only against the Pirates but the Phillies, especially this year. So he's done his best work in Pennsylvania, right? 6 home runs, 6 of his 9 have come in this state, and 14 runs batted in of his 30. against the Pirates and the Phillies.
And 2 huge home runs here in that 4-game series.
And Braun sends that one into left center field. Over is Tabata, and he's got it for the game's first out. Well, Rock, what do you have on 25-year-old Brandon Cumpton? Feels like a guy that, when he's right, will get a lot of ground ball outs.
And he's got a good sinker. I mean, he'll throw a sinker and a slider. Every now and again, he'll throw a changeup. Most of the time to left-handed batters. But more of a control pitcher. Big kid, 6'2", 218 pounds, a youngster, 25 years old. And mentioned he got kind of left out there to suck it up last time out against the Dodgers. Clinton Hurdle left him out there to suck up 10 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings. We'll see how that handles him, how he handles that.
Well, looks like he has a pretty good move to first. Segura, a base stealing threat. Clint Hurdle taking this Pirates club to the postseason last year. They got off to a very rough start. They were 9-16 in the month of April. Picked it up in May. They were a game over 500 in the month of May, and they're 3-1 in June so far. Very close again.
Yeah, quick feet. Yeah, Compton's got a quick move, quick feet, able to get that baseball over to first base. Russell Martin very good at throwing out base runners. And very close. Can't get much more of a lead than that.
Well, Jonathan Lucroy checking in today, 3rd in the National League in batting. And there goes Segura. Lucroy lets him run. The throw to second. One hops, and Segura's out. Segura wants a replay review here. He thinks he's safe. That was a one-hop throw from Martin. Dug out nicely at the bag by Walker. And the call on the field is out as Reineke takes the stroll to the umpire.
Yeah, Segura slowed down. That's why it was so close. It looks like he missed him. I mean, it looks like Segura got the hand in there. Of course, it's tough to tell in that angle. Looks like he didn't hit the hand. He hit the body as it came in. Looked like Segura got in there safely.
Question is, did he come off the bag at all once his hand crossed the bag, and ultimately he had his foot on the base? Yeah, he tagged the dirt.
Well, it's just a matter of you know, what they see up in the replay booth. That's a heck of a play. Now, does he tag him there? I don't know if he does or not.
Right there would be the question. And it looks like not enough there for the Brewers to feel like it would be overturned. So they are not going to challenge here. And the out at second base on the 2-4 put out. But you're right, you spotted Segura. He slowed up. He didn't finish through the bag, or else he would have been safe.
Would have been easily in there. I don't know why he stopped. He almost stopped. He stood up a little bit, and that's what cost him.
Pitch was called a strike on Lucroy. And now it's 1-1. Got 2 very talented catchers in this series in Pittsburgh with Lucroy and Russell Martin. Both can swing the bat a little bit. Lucroy, the better offensive player. Lucroy popped his 4th home run of the season last night. That helped stretch the Brewers' lead to 3. The Brewers winning over the Minnesota Twins last night and earning a split in that 4-game interleague series.
We had 3 home runs for the Brewers, all multi-home run home runs. A 3-run home run by Gomez and a couple of 2-run shots, Davis and Lucroy.
2-2 on the way. Down and out. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Lucroy. Now Lucroy 3rd in the league in batting behind Troy Tulowitzki and Yasiel Puig of the Dodgers. Tulowitzki's hitting .358. Puig at .340, and then there's Lucroy at .325. Jonathan is also among league leaders in doubles. He's 3rd in the league in that category. Ties him up. Down he goes. Cumpton, after a leadoff walk, gets a caught stealing, faces just 3 in the 1st, and now it'll be Kyle LOHSE on the mound. front of a big crowd at PNC. Brewers failed to score in the first. Clint Hurdle now in year 4 as the Pirates manager. Signed a long-term extension last season. And his batting order today looks like this. It's brought to you by Associated Bank. Josh Harrison will lead off. Neil Walker, the switch hitter, and then Andrew McCutchen. Middle of the order is Ike Davis, Russell Martin, and Pedro Alvarez. Jose Tabata, Jordy Mercer, Brandon Cumpton rounded out. The lineup that will face Kyle LOHSE.
LOHSE is 8th in the National League with a .260 earned run average. Career against the Pirates, 11-2 in 21 starts. And he's won 2 already this year. Back-to-back starts in April.
Facing Josh Harrison, the nephew of Brewers coach John Shelby. And what a spark plug he has been at the top of the order for the Pirates. Harrison comes in batting .317. Has 4 homers, 13 runs batted in. He's played a great right field. Slow roller to third. That'll roll foul. Ramirez watches it bounce.
Harrison's an infielder by trade. He's played some second base this year. He's been so good with the bat that Clint Hurdle's been throwing him in the outfield and doing a pretty good job. The bat plays. If you can hit, they'll find a spot for you.
And tonight, Hurdle has Harrison in right field with Tabata getting the start in left. And the reigning MVP, Andrew McCutchen, in center as usual. He's had to mix and match a little bit as Marte has struggled. But Harrison has fit the bill well for him. The 1-2, and Harrison lays off.
Yeah, ordinarily be concerned about a pitcher who's coming off a complete game, 9 innings, but it only took LOHSE 93 pitches to get through the Cubs. So he should be feeling pretty good here tonight. He's had good success against the Pirates. Lost his first game of the year and has not lost since.
Well, until that complete game, LOHSE's best outing of the year came against Pittsburgh. Back on April 13th as Harrison pops this one foul. LOHSE beat the Buccos on the 13th of April, went 8 2/3 with just 1 run, struck out 9 that day. That was at Miller Park, part of a 4-1 win. And then his next start was against the Pirates here in Pittsburgh, when 6 1/3 gave up just 1 run. Part of a 5-3 Brewers win. That was a string for LOHSE. He won 4 consecutive outings. He has currently won 7 consecutive decisions. Slow roller, going to be a tough play, and that gets through, and they're pointing Harrison to second. He didn't see it till late. Otherwise, he could have been there. And an infield hit for Josh Harrison.
Yeah, that's a mobility problem right there for Ramirez. Ordinarily, he's going to be able to get to that baseball, but want to take it easy with that hamstring. Won't be moving around all that great. No chance for Segura on a play like this. This is a play for a third baseman to come in. He gives up on it. The only shot the Brewers had to get the out was for Ramirez to make the play. He just couldn't do it.
And you can't fault Harrison. He was busting it through the bag thinking there might be a throw. But had he seen what was happening, could have easily made it to second base. As it is, he's at first to start the inning for the Pirates. And here is Neil Walker. Harrison has good speed. It's not showing up so much in the stolen base category just yet. Has just 2 bags and 3 caught stealing. A lot of it has to do with the guy that's at the plate right now, Neil Walker, and the power threat he has become.
Yeah, if you're pretty much not automatic and you're stealing bases, you don't be thrown out with guys like Walker, McCutchen coming up. It's pretty much been the case. Marte and McCutchen, the 2 guys you have to be careful with or keep an eye on the bases. They will steal.
Well, only Brian Dozier of the Twins, who we got to know well over the last 4 days, has more home runs from the second base position than Neil Walker. Pittsburgh native, star quarterback in high school. He is the face of this franchise. And LOHSE falls behind him, 2 balls and a strike.
And one of the hotter hitters in this lineup right now for Pittsburgh. He's starting to come around. He's always hit well against Milwaukee.
Got a great group of talented core players here in Pittsburgh that finally surfaced as a postseason team last year. Andrew McCutchen winning the MVP last season. Got Pedro Alvarez starting to become one of the great sluggers in the game. They've got a good thing going here in Pittsburgh, and it's been interesting to watch them off to a slow start, especially in the month of April. They're trying to recover from that now. Close pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes. John Tumpain, the home plate umpire tonight.
Yep, a minor league fill-in umpire, apparently a little bit down in the strike zone.
Now LOHSE will work the edges. Has to work around the middle of the plate to be successful. 3-2. Harrison goes and Walker fouls it off. Most innings without a walk. That is an active streak. 29 2/3. LOHSE coming off a game against the Cubs where he went the distance. He struck out 6 with no walks. Has not walked a batter since a start against the Cubs at Wrigley Field back on May 16th. There's a liner right to Ramirez. Throw to first, not in time. Harrison just back on a soft liner from Walker, the first out for LOHSE.
The Pirates fortunate they didn't send Harrison again on a 3-2 pitch. That time he stayed put. Taking the secondary lead. A good approach by Walker, but hit it right at Ramirez, who tried to get Harrison, but he's in there safely.
First chance for Ramirez at third base in over 3 weeks. Here's Andrew McCutchen now. And in the dirt, LUCROY smothers, can't find the handle. Harrison with good base running will take second base.
And if he picks it up right away, it might be close at second. That breaking pitch in the dirt, tried to surround it, didn't let it get too far away. If he picks it up right away, the mask, I guess, gave him some problems. Flipped the mask off, and actually the mask hit the baseball.
So Harrison ends up at second for McCutchen. McCutchen going along okay. Not MVP caliber, but he's doing all right. He's hitting .299, 6 homers. He's driven in 26. Brewers have had his number this year. He's hitting in the 180s against Milwaukee this season. And a big swing and a miss, and it goes to 1-2.
Yep, curveball. I guess you set the bar pretty high for yourself when you say you're hitting .299 and driven in 26 runs, and you're going along just so-so. I mean, that's the kind of thing that happens to you when you win the MVP.
Did not homer in the month of May, although his batting average was up a little bit.
No, he's hitting 188, did you say, against the Brewers, but he has hit into some really bad luck against Milwaukee throughout his career. A lot of line drives at the Brewers. Always seems to be able to make good contact.
Harrison at second. And LOHSE deals to McCutchen. That ball's hit deep into center field. Gomez going back. Can't get it. It's over his head. Harrison had to stop at second, and he'll hold around third. Now he's coming home, and the throw is late. The Brewers mishandled the throw from Gomez, and Harrison able to score.
I'm not sure what Harrison's doing. That's just terrible base running. He should have been going halfway. You only go back once the outfielders camped underneath it, but you know, they held him over there, Nick Leyba, but the Brewers had some trouble with it on a throw in from Gomez. Well, there's a pitch out away from Andrew McCutchen. He just hammers it over the head of Gomez, who's battling the sun out there. Sun can be a problem out the only part of the ballpark. And see Harrison not sure what he's doing, but he's held up initially, but sees the problem the Brewers have with it and is able to score.
Good base running by Harrison. That's what he's been to this Pirates team. He's got great instincts. And Gomez fighting the sun, which is setting right behind home plate. And just that little sliver out there. And I don't think he saw it right away. It's tough to hit a ball over Gomez's head.
Now the wind's blowing out pretty good here right now, right out to center field, maybe giving that one a little bit of a push.
Ike Davis, the former Met. LOHSE falling behind 2-0.
One of the nicest days I remember here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
a beautiful day. A little bit of a breeze, but blowing out to center field. You might see some homers tonight.
Three balls, no strikes. Pirates made a quick move, picking up Davis from the Mets. He's been their first baseman ever since. Picked him up in April. 4 homers, 18 driven in for Davis, hitting in the cleanup spot. Been a long search for an everyday first baseman in Pittsburgh. They've had a platoon going the last few years. Garrett Jones, Gabby Sanchez, and Davis into right. BRAUN is over, and he's got it for the out. McCutchen back to second. So LOHSE comes all the way back down 3-0 and gets the second out.
Took a little off. Let's check out the Brewers defense, brought to you by Menards. RAMIREZ back at third base. First time since he went on the disabled list back on May 13th. Got a hamstring. Carlos Gomez, a Gold Glover, and probably going to be a Gold Glover once again. Had a tremendous night out in center field at Target Field against the Twins last night.
2 outs, runner at second for Russell Martin. Pirates have a run in. And you got to give as much credit to the base running of Josh Harrison as anything else. Able to take second on a pitch in the dirt, able to score on a ball over Gomez's head. Been a rough start offensively for Russell Martin. You wouldn't know it by his numbers against the Brewers. Coming in, hitting just .239.
And Martin spent some time on the disabled list. He was on the DL last time the Brewers were in Pittsburgh in that 4-game series. Actually, had just come off the disabled list. My mistake.
Martin had a hamstring strain. A little jam shot. That's going to be trouble. That's going to fall. A base hit. And McCutchen races home, and it's a quick 2-spot for the Pirates in the first inning. RBI single for Russell Martin, who will take him any way he can get him right now.
Yeah, a little fish shot. You know, Lowe's trying to come inside. He got it in there. It actually wasn't even a strike, and Martin able to fist it into left field for a base hit and an RBI.
Two runs on 3 hits. Martin and Harrison reaching base with hits. Harrison's was an infield hit right off the end of the bat, and the jam shot single by Martin. And here's Pedro Alvarez.
Alvarez has dropped considerably in that batting order. He was batting 4th in that 3rd, 4th spot last time the Brewers were here. Now he's down to the 6th spot.
And a shot. The shift is on. GENNETT right there in the grass to make the play. Well positioned. Inning is over, but the Buccos score twice. RBIs from Russell Martin and McCutchen, and we head to the second 2-0. Carlos Gomez will lead off for the Brewers. We take you back Easter Sunday, April 20th. Gomez watching one go, and the Pirates took exception. The ball didn't go out. It hit the top of the wall. Gomez ended up at third, and this is when things got interesting here. Garrett Cole coming over, had some words. And then a brawl that broke out. Bench is cleared. Gomez swinging away. Martin Maldonado comes in swinging away. Both receive suspensions.
Travis Snyder, the biggest instigator in that whole mess, coming right after Gomez. Not a very wise decision to try and lock horns with Carlos Gomez. But everybody has served their suspensions, and I guess it's all forgotten. Let's see if it is or not.
Yeah, Gomez got a 3-gamer. Maldonado was out for 5. I believe Snyder got 3 as well. Garrett Cole, the guy who actually initiated all of it, the pitcher who took exception to Gomez's antics. did not get anything.
Well, he started the jawing, but then ended up on the pitcher's mound when everything broke out. He was gone. Took off. It's all forgotten.
Yeah. Now Gomez had a great series in Minnesota. Terrific game yesterday. Hit a 3-run home run to get the Brewers back in it when they trailed 4-0. Gomez did as much with his glove and his arm as he did with his bat last night. It's a great performance, showcasing all of his tremendous skills as he yanks one foul.
Yeah, the throwing arm, the range in the outfield, and the discipline that he's shown, this year, making his throws. I think Dozier on that play that we were talking about on Brewers Live that ended the 5th inning. I think Dozier thought that Gomez was going to try and airmail one to third base. Well, he did, and he hit the cutoff man and was cut down at second. Turning point of the game in my mind.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Gomez. And he jams him. A pop up into right center. Walker's back, and here comes Harrison, who got a late break and makes a catch.
They made a routine catch look like a great catch, didn't he? Took him a while to get going. He wasn't sure about it. Remember, he's an infielder, not an outfielder. It makes a sliding catch.
It all depends on where the edit point is, because if you pick it up from right there, that'll end up on a lot of the shows tonight as a great highlight. But he stood there for a while the ball was in the air and didn't see it right away. And you're right, he's playing out of position in right field.
Yeah, you can't blame him. Made a nice play.
Aramis Ramirez back in Pittsburgh, where he began his big league career as a 19-year-old. Ramirez has hits in each of his first 2 games back from the DL. He hit a long home run, 400+ foot home run on Wednesday, and then had a single last night. Brewers had an early morning arrival into Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Landed in the city about 3 a.m. after a long game last night. Well worth it, though, after the Brewers mounted the comeback last night. That hits the bag and bounces over the head of Alvarez. And Ramirez is aboard. Fortunate bounce there. Alvarez looked like he was there for it. Instead, it'll be a single. And a man on for Chris Davis.
Yeah, considering that Ramirez isn't running all that well, if that ball didn't hit the bag, it's probably an out.
Davis yesterday had one of the big homers. The Brewers hit 3 in yesterday's game at Target Field. This one, Powerball home run number 10 for Davis, gave Milwaukee the lead and brought him back from a run down to a run ahead.
Got down in the count early, ended up hitting a home run on pitch number 9 in that at bat, giving the Brewers a lead.
There's a shot. Well positioned is Walker, and a double play. Taking a hit away from Davis. The defensive shifts paying off.
Out to a quick 2-0 lead over the Brewers. Let's take a look at our Philco All-Star update. You see some of the vote leaders, and on that list you see ARAMIS RAMIREZ, who is third, along with Jonathan LUCROY, Gene Segura. And for ARAMIS RAMIREZ, he returns to third base for the first time in nearly a month. And Ron Renicky said he anticipates him playing the entire 9 innings unless something comes up where he can get him off of his feet. But he said he had a chance to talk to ARAMIS, and ARAMIS wants to play as much as he can. And when he came back in that Minnesota series, he, of course, was a designated hitter, something he's not very fond of, but he was able to work himself back in and get some swings. But also, he said, I'm a National League guy, and I want to be out on the field. And he's doing exactly that, and expect him to play this entire game, B.A.
All right, thanks, Telly. In and out of the glove of LOHSE, who recovers to get Tabata for the first out. And, you know, Ramirez has hits in all 3 games that he's been back, and he's always been against the designated hitter. He knows his career is probably ultimately going to end up as a primary DH in the American League, but he doesn't feel like he's there quite yet.
I don't think that Ron Renicky is too concerned about offensively for ARAMIS RAMIREZ. It's more or less moving around at third base, and I think that was highlighted already. The first batter of the game, Josh Harrison, a little slow roller that he wasn't able to get to. That's going to be the concern for Renicky, not so much swinging the bat.
Bouncing ball to Segura, and Jordy Mercer is retired at 2 quick outs for Kyle LOHSE.
Hey, the action at Miller Park heats up Friday, June 13th through Sunday the 15th, when the Brew Crew squares off against the Reds in a weekend showdown of Central Division foes. Reserve your seats today at 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com.
2 quick outs. Here is Brandon Compton, the Pirate pitcher.
Now you can take it easy. You can cruise a little bit, even when you're on the bases. I mean, Ramirez, I think if he's not dealing with that hamstring, he might have thought about going to second base on that ball that he hit in the top of this inning and went down the line. But with the hamstring, you can go on cruise control, but you really can't do that defensively.
Part of the reason the Brewers were so conservative with Ramirez is so that he was 100%. He does come back, and he can play a lot now that he's returned. Nice inning for LOHSE. Good bounce back. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Marshfield Clinic, don't just live, shine. And by Gerhard's, the kitchen and bath store. Find inspiration for your home remodel or new construction project at Gerhard's. Beautiful downtown Pittsburgh on a sparkling Friday night and on the shores of the Allegheny. We are at PNC Park tonight, home of the Pirates. They've had an all-star game here. hosted the wild card game last year in which the Pirates won. And a big crowd on hand to see this one, the first of 3 against the Brewers. Pirates getting 2 runs in the first off LOHSE, matching his earned runs all season against Pittsburgh leading up to this start. RBIs from McCutchen and Russell Martin in the first inning. So here we go to the third. You'll have to forgive our camera in center field right now. The sun is setting right on those guys out there, so it's giving a little bit of an unusual look. Don't adjust your sets at home. Do people still adjust their sets at home?
No, you just call up.
Just go buy a new one.
You call the cable company and say something wrong with my picture. There's nothing you can do about it, can you?
Don't call. Scooter GENNETT, and that's off the hand of Mercer, and GENNETT is aboard. So that'll be a base hit. The Brewers have had base runners in each of the first 3 innings. A caught stealing and a double play has wiped out the first 2 base runners, and now GENNETT is aboard for Mark Reynolds. Brewers getting some kind of production from the bottom of their order. Reynolds is batting 8th in a National League lineup today, leading all third basemen in home runs. Of course, he's now over at first base with Ramirez back, but he's hit most of those home runs as a third baseman. He leads the club with 13 on the Powerball home run leaderboard. Gomez and Davis went deep last night.
Yeah, Brewers have been getting run production from just about everybody. Everybody in the lineup. Guys coming off the bench. Ricky Weeks has been swinging the bat. Maldonado's driven in some runs, but offense right now has been looking pretty good. And they're all healthy again.
Now most of these Brewers getting their first look at tonight's starting pitcher, Brandon Compton.
It doesn't take major leaguers long, hitters, to make adjustments, so we'll see what happens second time through the batting order.
As Reynolds gets jammed, a bouncer to Mercer, goes to second for 1, and that's all they'll get.
Almost another double play the Brewers might have rolled into. There's been a lot of them on this road trip.
Yeah,
started back at the in Miller Park against the Twins.
So 5 games, and the Brewers have bounced into 8 double plays.
Those are rally killers, to say the least.
Reynolds just hit that one too slowly for the Pirates to double up. So 1 away. Reynolds now at first, and here is Kyle LOHSE, who's actually made a little noise with his bat recently. What was so impressive about LOHSE's game against the Cubs, the fact that he goes the distance. He goes a 3-hit shutout, the 8th shutout of his career, but he also had 2 RBIs in that game. Had 2 hits and 2 runs batted in a 9-0 Milwaukee win. And just before you go thinking that was against somebody you may not have heard of, or somebody down at the end of a rotation, that was against Jeff Samardzija. That was the Cubs ace.
Pitcher's rake, isn't that what they've been saying?
That's it. Pedro Alvarez is confident in a bunt right here by LOHSE, and he bunts right through it. Pitcher's rake. Hashtag pitcher's rake. Southwest Airlines non-stoppable play. LOHSE not once off Samardzija, but twice as part of his 9-inning gem.
That's all he needed.
Showing bunt again, and he bunts this one to the first base side. Davis shovels it over to Walker. Perfectly placed bunt by LOHSE, and that'll advance Reynolds. That's a sacrifice bunt for LOHSE. Reynolds now at second with 2 away.
Little nonchalant little backhand shovel pass over there at first base. Check out Ike Davis. He has plenty of time to spin around and make a nice throw. Watch him. Neil Walker able to get over there. There it is, and just take it, no problem.
Excellent bunt by LOHSE. And now we'll see if the Brewers can cash it in. Top of the order with Segura, as Reynolds now at second. Segura walked his first time up. Not something he does a whole lot of.
Hey, CUMPTON's been able to keep the ball down for the most part. Looked good with that sinker. Hadn't thrown too many other pitches other than the fastball, the two-seam sinker.
It goes to 0-2 on Segura. Gene continues to put up good numbers as a leadoff hitter. This is the 15th game that he's hit leadoff. In the previous 14, he's hitting .302, and he scored 12 runs in those 14 games. Playing the role of run producer here. Reynolds with decent speed. Big outfield here as well. Should score on a base hit. CUMPTON wants to talk it over with Russell Martin.
It's been back-to-back two-seam sinkers to Gene Segura. Just wants to make sure that they're on the same page. Maybe waste a pitch. Maybe waste a breaking pitch off the corner. You know who's going to win this battle, don't you? Russell Martin and the rookie. Who do you think's going to get their way?
Take my chances. Russell Martin doesn't have a gold patch on his chest protector for no reason. Matter of fact, he's the last Gold Glove Award winner in the National League prior to Yadier Molina's reign. Came back with a fastball. Segura walked and was caught stealing by Martin in the first. By his own demise, though, Segura slowed down right before he went into his head-first slide. That cost him. 0-2 the count. And Segura bounces one to third. Alvarez waiting back and throws him out. Inning over. Brewers have 2 hits. Segura is angry. Third inning with LOHSE against CUMPTON matching up today. Carlos Gomez in our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery. This was from last night and robbing Trevor Plouffe of an extra base hit. And Gomez, the Gold Glove Award winner in center field.
Almost made another play like that on Andrew McCutchen back in the first inning, but I think he lost it out in that sun out in center field. Now the sun's gone. Don't have to worry about that anymore.
Sun's gone? No, it's still there. It's just not where it was in that inning, right? I see what you mean.
It's not a nuisance to the players. visibility is just fine right now.
Just kidding, son. You're never a nuisance. We love when you're shining brightly. As LOHSE deals a strike to Harrison. I mean, look, in Pittsburgh, sun doesn't come around that often.
You keep saying that, but it's a nice town. I mean, you get some nice weather here. Last time we were here, it was beautiful.
Oh, I wasn't here for that.
Oh, that's right.
That was the Matt LePay debut. He did a great job, too.
Yeah.
Matt LePay. He'll be back right after the All-Star break. Bouncer to third. And Ramirez. Little high throw. Reynolds got the toe down in time. Harrison retired. I haven't heard out of Matt LePay in a while. I think he's
a
still
little upset.
recovering from his 3 weeks with the Brewers. I don't know what you do to the guy.
That, and he's a little bit upset with him for including him in the dinner with Brian and Bill.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't really probably know about that just yet.
No, I got to text him. I'm afraid to mention it to him.
Anyway, Matt, you're going to have to drive to Milwaukee from Madison and have dinner with some fans who. The highest bidders in the auction.
Yeah, bring the wife. Make it a night out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go to a ball game, hang out in the booth.
That'll be fun. Sophia's going to be involved. I never saw the final number on that auction item, by the way. Just assuming that our auction item was the highest, most sought after, the highest bid. That's what I've been told anyway. If any of the bosses are listening. Ball and a strike on Neil Walker. Walker lined out to Ramirez at third base his last time up. Little soft liner.
That's where you have to pitch Neil Walker. I mean, you got to elevate that fastball. Very good low ball hitter from the left side of the plate. Like just dropped the head of the bat on the baseball. Much better from the left than the right. Yeah, 10 of his 11 home runs have come from the left-handed batter's box. Of course, there's not too many left-handed pitching or starters in the National League Central Division.
Now Walker, the top home run hitting second baseman in the National League. And he leads the major leagues in RBIs by a second baseman with 34. He and Brian Dozier have been the tops in their league at that position this year. And Walker back up the middle. Right there is Segura. Might have hit the bag. And out is Walker. The shifting is paying off in a big way tonight for both teams.
Yeah. And Segura is standing right over second base. If that ball hit the bag, it hit right on the top of the bag and really didn't affect the bounce all that much. Right, let's see it. Pretty close. I think it did hit the bag. It came up on Segura. And he's able to make the play. Hey, tonight's tower in the game. Jay's Lanes in McQuanigo, if they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. They get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets.
Andrew McCutchen on the first pitch, and it is gone. A home run. Wasting no time. He's hit the ball hard twice. A double and now a homer. And the Pirates lead 3-0. Number 7 of the year for McCutchen.
Now you got to hit him to get him out there, dead left field, and McCutchen gets one and doesn't waste it. Out over the plate, nice short stroke. And McCutchen does it again to the Brewers.
McCutchen starting to heat up. Extra base hits starting to come now. He has 7 extra base hits in his last 5 games. That includes 3 home runs and now 4 doubles. Has a double and a home run tonight against LOHSE.
And as we were talking about in his first at bat, he might not get hits all the time against Milwaukee, but he always seems to barrel up the baseball. Hits it hard. Just a good hitter.
Ball and a strike on Ike Davis. And he pops him up. Back is GENNETT. He wants it. And he's got it to end the inning. But LOHSE gives up a home run to McCutchen. The reigning MVP makes it 3-0 Pirates. Ready to lead off, a place he loves to hit. It is a pitcher's park, but this has been a spot for BRAUN, our AT&T Yearverse Rewind. The last time the Brewers were here, BRAUN not once but twice off Jason Grilli. And 2 or 3 big home runs. This one forcing extra innings.
Yeah, the first one gave the Brewers a 1-run lead in that thing, and that tied it on Easter Sunday. Or was it Mother's Day? I think it was Easter Sunday. Brewers ended up winning in 14 innings, getting to Grilli on back-to-back days here at PNC Park. I'm not sure, because I think the Brewers have played extra innings on every one of the 3 holidays so far.
You're keeping track of free baseball on holiday. Well, if you're going to play
Memorial
an extra
Day
inning game, you do it on a holiday.
Memorial Day, Mother's Day, and Easter.
Oh, okay.
Father's Day is coming up.
Yeah, most people don't keep track of stuff like that.
Oh, I do.
You're next level. BRAUN, LUCROY, and Gomez. Brewers getting into the second time through the batting order now against Brandon CUMPTON. Now CUMPTON from Georgia, Evans, Georgia, born in Augusta, played his college ball at Georgia Tech. Ryan Braun played at Miami. And a swing and a miss. CUMPTON strikes him out. Braun's 0 for 2.
3 fastballs, and that was it. Well, the best pitch for Braun to hit in that at bat was the second strike. It was right down the middle. Yeah, strike 3 was off the plate. And Braun chasing.
As LUCROY takes a ball down and away. See Jonathan LUCROY where he ranks among major league catchers. He is #1 in batting average, OPS, extra base hits. Mentioned that he is 2 doubles shy of the league lead in the National League in that category. LUCROY having a great year. He struck out his first time up.
On the pitch he tried to hold up on, just couldn't do it.
And he lines that one to center field. A base hit for LUCROY.
And the reason why he's leading all catchers in batting average is because of the way he goes up there. He's got a good plan up there at the plate, knows what he wants to do. Hips, then hands, then barrel the bat. Watch the belt buckle. The belt buckle is going to be facing the pitcher. That leads the hands through the strike zone, and a nice level swing down and through. Beautiful swing.
Tell you, his home run last night, opposite field home run, about as impressive as you can do it. Let the ball travel deep, and then he hit one right down the right field line.
Yeah, wasn't even a strike. Up and away, able to tomahawk it and give the Brewers a 3-run lead. Well, the Brewers needed that. What a win last night. Down 4-0 early and came back.
Now the Crew down 3-0 tonight. They've had to play from behind over the last 4 nights. Been able to come back once. Gomez had a big 3-run home run last night. Brewers were behind 4-0 on Wednesday night in Minnesota. Actually came back to tie it and then let the game get away late. As Gomez sends that one deep right center field. That is well hit. And Gomez off the base of the wall. LUCROY on his way to third. Gomez into second with a double. Hit that one hard into right center. Back-to-back hits. And the Brewers with their biggest threat so far.
Yeah, it's been a trend, this offense, the way they've been able to stay back and drive the baseball to the opposite field. Now Gomez able to do it on a pitch out away from him, lets it get to him and puts a nice swing on it. I think for a minute he thought it might be out of the ballpark. Up off the wall, and now second and third with 1 out. Well, the approach for this offense has been very good as of late, which is why they've been scoring some runs, not trying to pull it.
Now Ramirez will try to cash him in. He singled his last time up. He hit the bag at third base. Second and third, 1 away. Compton's thrown a lot of fastballs. He did the same against the Dodgers in his last start, which was a poor start, giving up 11 runs and 10 earned, but he stuck with that sinking fastball. Sinker slider pitcher, an occasional changeup. And Ramirez, little jam shot. Walker is back and he cannot make the play. LUCROY coming in. The throw goes to third and Gomez is safe. And the Brewers are on the board. That'll be a single and an RBI for Ramirez. Just out of the reach of Walker. It was close to being an out.
And a good base running by Jonathan LUCROY. He didn't take off the home plate right away. And I think if Walker catches this baseball, LUCROY is going to be able to tag up from third base and score. Goes off his glove, and even better base running by Gomez to get into third base.
So the Brewers are on the board. 3 consecutive hits here in this 4th inning. They've been able to quiet down this big crowd at PNC. And with Gomez advancing to third, another opportunity to score without the benefit of a hit. First and third for Chris Davis.
It's amazing the instincts Carlos Gomez has out there on the bases. I mean, that's a tough play to be able to get to third base on that. You can see what happens after CUMPTON gets through the lineup once. Hitters start zeroing in on him a bit.
And you have to take in consideration his last start against the Dodgers as Davis sends one in the air to right. Harrison on the run. Plenty deep to score Gomez. And Carlos is in, and 2 runs for the Brewers in this 4th inning. A sac fly and an RBI for Chris Davis.
Yep, and once again, Chris Davis not trying to pull the baseball. Plenty deep enough to score Gomez. So good fundamentals by Davis, not trying to do too much with it, and he drives in a run.
Gives him 25 runs batted in for the year. Driving in the second Milwaukee run. So 2 men are out now. Ramirez over at first. Here's Scooter Gennett. Let's check in with Telly Hughes with more on Chris Davis.
Well, BA, I had a chance to talk to Chris before tonight's game, and he just echoed what Rock just mentioned about his approach and going to right field. He said he was told that's where he's going to make his money, and that's what he's been doing.
Scooter Gennett down the right field line, a base hit. Ramirez on his way to third. And the fourth hit of the inning. Gennett is 2 for 2. And that'll bring up Mark Reynolds now as the Brewers' second time through the batting order getting their hits.
It's a potent lineup, make no mistake. I mean, this is a lineup that has been clicking on all cylinders for a while now, and you add Ramirez to the mix. That's just a nice approach and a nice at bat by Scooter Gennett, getting a fastball middle in and ripping it down the line. But this is a offense. Johnny Naren's got to be very pleased with the way each and every one of his hitters are approaching their at bats as of late.
Let's get Telly back in the conversation here and more on Chris Davis. I know you had a chance to visit with him, Telly. Did he tell you what changes he made at the plate? I know there was some subtle changes mechanically that he made.
He said he just stopped being pull happy. He said he was going up there and he was trying to pull everything, and once he started to go with the outside pitches, he was able to take the ball to right field and really relax himself and use all parts of the field. And that's exactly the question I asked, because over the last 15 games he's been hitting .375, and I said there had to be something, and he said I was just too pull happy and I stopped going up there thinking that way.
And the other thing that Johnny Naren always preaches with his hitters, to be on time. And what that means is make sure when you lift that front leg on your stride, make sure the foot is down and then you start your swing. You don't put your foot down as you start your swing. That means if you're doing that, you're out in front. So Davis has been working on that, and he's staying back nicely and driving the baseball to right field.
Well, it just changes the lineup so much when Davis is hitting like he is. I mean, here's a guy who's hitting 6th in the batting order and putting up some impressive numbers. And then you get down to Mark Reynolds, who's hitting 8th and leads the club in home runs. Martin does a good job to keep that one in front. It's just a tough lineup to get through. The Brewers are going to strike out a lot, and they're going to hit a lot of home runs. But they have major weapons throughout. Everybody's a threat to go out of the ballpark for the most part. First and third, 2 away as Reynolds takes a ball. Well, there is a base open. It's not first base, but there is a base open if CUMPTON would rather deal with Kyle LOHSE next as opposed to Reynolds.
Risky business. You figure Reynolds to get a pretty good pitch to hit here.
Hitters count 3-1. There goes Gennett, and the pitch is outside, ball 4.
Well, you were right. But LOHSE in his last start drove in a couple of runs, and one of them came, his first one came with 2 outs.
Well, this is where LOHSE can be dangerous with the bat. He typically makes contact, especially against a guy like CUMPTON, who is pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. We'll see what he can do. Bases loaded. That's a good graphic to be on right there, huh? NL leaders as a pitcher in RBIs. He's made the top 3. He's got the bronze medal right now.
And what do you think this conversation might be about? You got Kyle LOHSE, the pitcher, up. I think Russell Martin is just trying to get the young pitcher through this inning, trying to minimize the damage. Doesn't want him to make a bad mistake to LOHSE. It's like having another coach out there in the field when you have Russell Martin behind home plate.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Brewers have 2 in. And there's strike 1. LOHSE as a hitter this year is 5 for 28 with those 4 RBIs. That's a 179 average. And a bouncing ball to short. Mercer will shovel it over to second for the out, and the side is retired. But the Brewers score twice, and they're down a run.
Friday of 2014. That's Friday, June 13th, when Ryan Braun and the Brewers collide with Joey Votto and the Reds. All fans will receive a Brewers retro T-shirt courtesy of Husco International. Visit Brewers.com for tickets.
Sometimes the simplest logos are the best, right?
Yeah.
Team called the Brewers, and a logo that's a keg of beer. Makes perfect sense.
Not only does it make perfect sense, it makes you thirsty.
3-2 game. LOHSE behind a run now after his offense gives him a couple in the 4th. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Russell Martin will lead off. Singled in a run in the 1st inning. Little jam shot off of LOHSE, and there's a swing and a miss. Martin dialing it up early. Brewers have out-hit the Pirates thus far, 6-4. Stranding the bases loaded, but had the pitcher at the plate.
Well, LOHSE hit it hard, didn't he? Hit it good. Right at the shortstop. Not an easy out up there at the plate, Kyle LOHSE.
As Martin fouls it off. Got an early entry for most annoying fans of the night.
Yeah, where are they?
Just continuing the LOHSE chant. Wow, that was getting in the brain a little bit.
I could say it was bugging it.
It was a little half swing foul. Now, it used to be a day here at PNC you could hear almost individual conversations. The times have changed here now. It's great to see again. This is a great baseball city.
Great ballpark, one of my favorites.
Yep. Love it here. And LOHSE hits Martin right in the back on a 1-2 pitch. LOHSE let one get away, and a hit batter to start this inning.
Trying to come inside with a fastball, just got away from him, and LOHSE didn't want to do that.
Looks like I got him in the ribs. So a man on for Pedro Alvarez.
Brewers pitchers have not hit many batters this year. Pirates, on the other hand, lead the National League. They're not afraid to come inside. So the 13th hit batter for the Brewers. They are only ahead of the Atlanta Braves, who have hit 12.
LOHSE has only hit 3 batters this year. Alvarez, a bouncing ball. GENNETT to second for one. Segura will get out of the way, and a good thing. Russell Martin was coming in there hot. So they get the lead out at second. First out of the inning as Alvarez replaces Martin at first. Time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag WisFanPhoto. You'll have a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast if you do. Brought to you by AT&T. One gone, runner at first base for Jose Tabata.
Tabata's had terrific numbers against LOHSE in his career. Cal got him out his first time up, but Tabata coming in a .424 hitter against LOHSE.
14 career hits and now 34 career at bats. And LOHSE has it to second for the first. Segura over to first for the double play. 1-6-3 on the double play. LOHSE out of the fourth. 3-2 Pirates.
Yep, top 5 here at Miller Park, or I should say at PNC Park, as the Brewers trail the Pirates 3-2. And we've been talking about opposite field hitting for the Brewers, and they have been doing a good job of it in the last couple of weeks. Here's Chris Davis taking a home run into the opposite field. It's the same swing for these hitters. They just wait a little bit longer. Ryan Braun's always been very good at doing this, covering the outside corner and staying on top, not popping it up but lining it out of the ballpark. Look at LUCROY tomahawking a high fastball, letting it get back into his stance and driving that one down the right field line at target field.
And some pretty swings. Opposite field approach. And typically when that happens, and I've heard you say this many times, you start thinking up the middle and right field. If you're a right-handed batter, that's when you start to see the pulled variety. You start to see home runs to left field.
Yeah, just because you're looking away, I mean, you're looking for pitches away, you're sitting on fastballs away, you can react inside. That's your natural instinct, is the turn on pitches. If you're thinking turn on a pitch, there's no way you can cover the outside corner. You can do it the other way around. You can look away, react inside. That's what the Brewers have been doing a good job of lately, and that's what Johnny Naren's been preaching all season long. Stay on time, react inside, and look to drive that ball into the right center field gap if you're a right-handed batter.
A stickler for the details, hitting coach Johnny Naren.
That and positive thinking. Always getting something positive out of every at bat, whether you get a hit or not.
Now Naren has this grading system It's more than just about whether you get a hit or not. It's how you stay alive with 2 strikes. Do you hit the ball sharply? There's this whole system that takes you away from batting average and gets hitters thinking about at bats a little differently. And it's a scoring system that has results. They have monthly winners. I think the reward last year was the winner could wear whatever he wanted to on the charter. He could wear sweats if he wanted.
Yeah, that's right.
You start finding the currency of these big league players. Keeps it fun, keeps it light, but it also keeps him accountable. 2-2 to Segura, and he waves and misses. Compton strikes him out. And the 3rd strikeout for the Pirates starter.
Seems like every breaking pitch he throws is off the outside corner, not a strike. And that one clearly a ball, but Segura out in front and just waves at it for strike 3.
So 1 away, and here is Ryan Braun, who is 0 for 2 against Compton tonight. And strike 1, well placed fastball at 94 miles an hour. Brewers scoring twice last inning on 4 hits and a walk. RBIs from Ramirez and Davis. Pirates scored the first 3, got 2 in the first, and then a home run by McCutchen in the 3rd. McCutchen with 2 RBIs. And that one catches the corner.
Yep, right on the edge. Well, Compton, except for that 4th inning, has been throwing the baseball pretty well. He's bounced back nicely from a disastrous start against the Dodgers.
Another one on the outside corner. Tough play. Barehanded Mercer, and the throw in time.
Boy, that's a heck of a play right there. Jordy Mercer, tremendous defensive shortstop. And Ryan Braun, I thought he had that beat, but Mercer on the bare hand pickup on the high chopper and wasted no time. He got off a terrific throw to first base.
It's going to be close. Might have a challenge here. And it looks like they got him.
Yep. Well, 2nd time Reneke's gone out there. 2nd time he's decided not to challenge.
He's keeping the challenge in his pocket. Looked like Braun was out. And the 2nd out of the inning. Heck of a play by Jordy Mercer.
Yep, there he is. He's out. He's got the baseball, and Braun not on the bag yet.
So 2 outs. Here's LUCROY. Started the rally last inning with a single to center field. First of 3 consecutive hits for the Brewers. LUCROY's updated batting average at .327 right now. Finding himself in a very good groove. Got the day off, his first in 20 consecutive days on Tuesday night. He's played the last 2, and LUCROY into right field. Harrison is there for the out. Hit it sharply, but right at Josh Harrison. 3 up and 3 down for Compton.
teachers in your community. 30 teachers will be celebrated at the 2014 All-Star Game July 15th on Fox. Log on to allstarteachers.com to nominate your favorite teacher today and get them to Minneapolis.
All right, thanks, Telly. And we want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to all of the Wisconsin teachers out there watching tonight's broadcast. Most schools are out next week. Some of them are already done. We appreciate the great service. Real heroes right there. The teachers, they don't give enough credit. 3-2 ball game. The Pirates lead the Milwaukee Brewers here as we head to the 5th inning. Bottom of the order with Jordy Mercer, the pitcher CUMPTON, and then Josh Harrison, Pittsburgh's leadoff hitter. 8-9-1. Other than Andrew McCutchen, LOHSE has gone along pretty well here tonight. McCutchen's got him twice, a double and an RBI in the first, and then he homered in the third off LOHSE. Martin has the other run batted in. As Mercer sends that one deep to left. Back is Davis, and that ball's up and out of here. A home run for Jordy Mercer. 4-2 Pirates. Just his third home run of the year. Mercer goes deep to start the 5th.
Yep, a slider that was right down the middle of the plate. And the command not what it was his last time out against Chicago, but still hanging in there. That ball didn't do much, and Mercer got a pretty good swing at it. Knocked it out of here in the first row.
And the pitcher, Brandon CUMPTON. Well, the Pirates playing yard ball here tonight. McCutchen's was a solo shot in the third. Mercer a solo homer to start this 5th inning. And LOHSE behind the pitcher, 3-0 now. Lost him on 4 consecutive pitches. Wow, you never see that.
Heck of a way to lose a streak, right? How many in a row? Innings without a walk? Yeah, LOHSE, 4-pitch walk to the opposing pitcher. Wow.
LOHSE has not walked a batter since the May 16th game against the Cubs. It ends up at 34 2/3 innings without a walk for LOHSE. And wouldn't you know, it's the opposing pitcher he walks to break that streak.
Yep, on 4 pitches.
So a home run, a walk. Now to the top of the order in Josh Harrison. 4-2 Pirates. Harrison reached on an infield hit and scored a run in the first inning. LOHSE got him to bounce to third his last time up. Count remains at 0-2. Harrison hasn't seen a whole lot of LOHSE. He's got 2 at-bats tonight. Coming into play tonight, Harrison was 1 for 4. Finally getting a chance in the big leagues, Josh Harrison. Still thought to be a utility player. Guy that you can move around, play the infield, outfield, but he's played so well for him that he's been out there in the lineup just about every day, whether it be third base or right field.
And the way he's hitting, you got to find his place for him.
Little tapper. LOHSE has to hustle it over to first and makes a nice play. LOHSE is a very good athlete, And he needed it all right there to make that play to get Harrison.
And a little squibber right in front of home plate. Well, Harrison got an infield hit his first time up to start a rally. Right off the end of the bat, but look at LOHSE, bounces off the mound, bare hands it, and gets his man at first. But CUMPTON ends up in scoring position.
And he is there with one out for Neil Walker. Tough part of the order coming up for the Pirates. Walker, McCutchen. Pretty dynamic duo in the middle of this Pittsburgh batting order. Walker's 0 for 2. LOHSE starts him with an off speed for strike 1.
And LOHSE has been working him up in the strike zone. At least he was his last time up. He'll swing through a high fastball. He better get it up there around the letters.
Oh, and 2 on Walker. Walker's been a tough out for LOHSE. It's a career 300 hitter against him. Has a home run as well. LOHSE has given up his hits, and he'll do that. He'll give up hits throughout a season. But he has impressive numbers overall against the Pirates. Has 11 career wins against Pittsburgh. 11-2. A lot of that coming as a member of the St. Louis Cardinals. 2 of those wins coming this year as a Brewer. He's 6-1 lifetime with a 3.67 ERA at PNC Park. Trailing 4-2 in the 5th. CUMPTON at second base. Walker takes one off the plate. And it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I don't know too many pitchers that don't like to pitch in this ballpark. This is a fair ballpark. You got to hit him to get him out. You know, big outfield. You've got to have some pretty good speed out there to cover all the ground that's out there, gap to gap.
It was always a lot more enjoyable for pitchers to come in here to PNC Park when they didn't have this kind of lineup. Things have changed over the last few years in Pittsburgh. Got to give a lot of credit to Clint Hurdle now in year 4. Changing the culture, bringing a winning culture. Hurdle took the Rockies to the World Series back in 07. And Walker into center field, a base hit. CUMPTON around third, and he will score. Gomez's throw comes all the way through, and that allows Walker to second base.
Yep.
And a mistake by Gomez.
Well, not a good throw by Carlos. If you're going to make that throw, you got to hit the cutoff, man, like you did last night in Minnesota. Airmails Mark Reynolds, and because of that, Walker read the throw, and he ends up in the scoring position. Not only that, you take away the potential double play. Got to hit the cutoff, man. He didn't, and now Walker with good base running gets into second.
Just can't do that. Gomez allowing the runner to second. Takes LOHSE out of a double play chance to maybe get out of this inning. And now McCutchen is coming up with a runner in scoring position. 5-2 Pittsburgh. And LOHSE having a tough night tonight. Now McCutchen is 2 for 2. And he launched a breaking ball on the first pitch out of here in the third.
Not so many guys are going to be looking first pitch curveball, but that was a hanger and reacted inside. Remember, we were talking about how you can react inside if you're looking outside.
Bouncing ball to short. Segura, long throw to get McCutchen for the out. Good play by Segura. It makes it look so easy. Runner advances to third. Walker, the second out for LOHSE.
He goes over there, picks it up on the backhand, and is already getting himself in position to throw. And a good, strong arm, very accurate, to get McCutchen there, who runs pretty well.
Not an easy play, especially with a speedster like McCutchen running down the line. 2 in, 2 outs. Here's Ike Davis. On the first pitch, foul territory. Ramirez will watch it in the seats a few rows up. Tight quarters in foul territory here. A lot like Target Field in Minneapolis. It's one of the few advantages the hitters have. Intimate surroundings.
Yeah, hardly any foul territory down both lines.
Davis into center. Gomez coming in, and that will retire the side. But the Pirates score twice on 2 hits, and they now lead 5-2 through 5. Couple of runs in the 5th, 5-2 as we go to the 6th inning. And our carsoup.com trivia tonight: which current Brewers players were first-round draft choices selected by Milwaukee? Draft is ongoing right now, and here are the first 10 picks. Brewers going with a left-handed high schooler, Cody Medeiros out of Hawaii, as the first pick, their first pick. And in the supplemental round, Jacob Gatewood, a shortstop, big power hitting shortstop. He wowed him at the home run hitting contest last year. Monte Harrison is a guy to pay attention to. Has a football scholarship to Nebraska. And wondering if the Brewers will be able to sign him. If they do sign all these players, a lot of those who cover these prospects and have analysis on the draft say the Brewers hit the home run on draft day yesterday and today.
Yeah, very excited about their top 3 picks, all high school players. And we saw a video of Medeiros. Looks like a kid that can brush it up there pretty good. Only in high school. Big, tall left-hander.
Carlos Gomez leads the way for the Brewers. Gomez, an undrafted free agent, signed out of the Dominican Republic by the Mets, as he lines one to left, a base hit. And Gomez is 2 out of 3.
The Brewers aren't going anywhere. They're going to keep fighting. Gomez getting a fastball inside. One of the most exciting days for a baseball player when draft day, you get your name called, you get a phone call at home, and a major league team says, we just drafted you. That's an exciting time for both the player and the families. Families actively involved in that process as well.
Big swing by Ramirez. What was draft day like for you coming out of Clemson?
In New Jersey. I was sitting in New Jersey getting ready to go to the Pan Am games. I sat around, got the call. It took a few days, but decided to sign and went to Butte, Montana.
Nice.
We were having a cookout at the house.
hosting the massive throng of media, I assume.
Right.
Gomez takes off, bouncer to third. Alvarez will make the play to get Ramirez. And the first out, but Gomez is in scoring position. And Ramirez is out for the first time tonight. Well, as promised earlier in the broadcast, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. And it comes from Tim. There's a turtle with a helmet on. That's nice. Use the hashtag WisFanPhoto. And it's all brought to you by AT&T. We're always encouraging animals with Brewer swag, and that's a chart topper right there. I had one of those turtles in my landscaping one year.
A real one?
Yeah, I was digging around, you know.
You were digging?
Oh, yeah, some bushes. As Davis, a base hit into left. Gomez makes the turn on his way home, and he will score. Chris Davis with an RBI single. His second RBI of the game. And the Brewers back within a pair. It's 5-3 now.
Yeah, Compton all of a sudden working the Brewers inside after really a steady diet of pitches away. Here comes Russell Martin sneaking inside. Got in on Davis, but strong enough to muscle it out into left field. So the Pirates changing the pattern up a little bit. Gomez got his base hit on a fastball in. And now Davis.
Well, Pittsburgh has activity in their bullpen. Clint Hurdle sending Russell Martin out there to talk to Compton with the left-handed GENNETT coming up. And it's starting to feel like Hurdle is going to make a change here in the 6th inning. It was a long visit. Remember, Compton ran the bases last inning, reached on a walk, scored from second, and Hurdle's going to make a pitching change. So the Pittsburgh skipper will take the rookie out, sitting on a 5-3 lead. And the Brewers starting to get their hits second and third time through the order. So that'll do it for him. And Hurdle goes to his bullpen. We'll set him up when we come back. Hurdle going to his bullpen early as Brandon Compton, the rookie, is out but still in the lead. And it'll be hard throwing Justin Wilson on the pitch. Supremely confident in his bullpen is Clint Hurdle, and he gets in there in the 6th inning.
Yeah, one of the reasons why the Pirates were so good and got to the postseason last year, the bullpen shaky early in the season, but these guys are starting to put it together. Wilson, a hard thrower from the left side of the plate. In to face GENNETT. Wilson pretty good against both left-handers and right-handers.
One man gone here in the 6th. Started with a single by Gomez. Davis drove him in after the ground out by ARAMIS Ramirez. Scooter Gennett 2 out of 2 tonight. This bullpen back together again for the Pittsburgh Pirates. They've got Grilli closing again. He started to turn it around. Got Melanson setting up, and they have plenty of arms to get to those two. And Hurdle's going to use them. Pittsburgh did have a day off yesterday, so his bullpen is fresh. First bullet, 95 miles an hour from Justin Wilson.
Yeah, pretty much straight over the top. Not a lot of movement, but 95, 96, throws a lot of strikes. You got two pretty good left-handers down in their bullpen. Tony Watson's having a great season.
And GENNETT, little jam shot. Back is Alvarez. And in foul territory makes the play. Second out of the inning. Here comes Mark Reynolds. That gives you an idea how good the Pirates bullpen is when your first left-handed option is a guy throwing 95, 96 miles an hour. He's your early lefty.
Yeah, he's in the 6th inning.
Had a little command trouble his last time out. You see the numbers on this Pittsburgh bullpen. But Wilson walked the first two batters he faced Monday in San Diego. Retires the first batter he faces here.
Yeah, GENNETT, the only left-hander in the Brewers lineup tonight. So nothing but right-handers from here on out against Justin Wilson.
Got the pitcher spot due up next. Reynolds batting 8th, representing the tying run, and right off his foot. Can't feel good.
Yeah, right off the inside of the foot right there. That'll slow you down a bit.
Ball and a strike on Reynolds, representing the tying run. Club leader in home runs. Reynolds has been on twice. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning. He walked his last time up. Davis at first, and a cut and a miss. Reynolds couldn't catch up to the 96-mile-an-hour heater.
Yeah, up in the zone. You got to make Wilson get it down a little bit. You get it down below the belt. Becomes a little bit easier to get to, but up there, tough to get on top of a big fastball.
One ball, 2 strikes. Davis takes off, and he'll make it without a throw. A stolen base. Got a great jump. And now a base hit will bring in one more for the Brewers. First stolen base of the year for Chris Davis.
Got a great jump. Wilson not worried too much about him, was he? Didn't even give him a look.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Probably see a pinch hitter. We'll most definitely see a pinch hitter if LOHSE should come up in this inning. And a swing and a miss. Reynolds down on strikes. Wilson gets it. Brewers score a run. They're within 2. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. Lights are up on a Friday night on the banks of the Allegheny River. PNC Park, 5-3 Pittsburgh. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Kyle LOHSE back out there. His spot will lead off the 7th, so certainly his final inning tonight. Trying to keep the Pirates at 5. LOHSE facing Russell Martin, Pedro Alvarez, Jose Tabata in this 6th inning. Pittsburgh starting a 7-game homestand tonight. They'll have the Cubs coming in here on Monday. As Martin shoots one to right, a base hit.
He beat the shift that time, didn't he? And Scooter shaded up the middle, and he hit it right where the second base, well, back in the 90s would have been. Not anymore. Check him out. Back in the Jim Gantner days, that's an easy out. Not these days.
And Martin has his second hit. Has not been retired tonight. 2 hits, hit by a pitch. Leadoff base runner, and here is Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez with 11 home runs this season. Former first-round draft pick by the Pirates.
Russell Martin used to be a base stealer, not anymore. A lot of innings behind home plate slowed him down.
Alvarez, a big swing. Lee Tunnell, the bullpen coach, monitoring Tyler Thornburg. Thornburg was throwing while the Brewers were at the plate in case LOHSE's spot would come up. Well, you'd love to get LOHSE through this inning. He'd love to get through this inning, turn it over to his offense, and at least give him a chance at a win if the Brewers could come back. But LOHSE has not been on his game tonight. As good as he has been this year, this is one of those rare nights when LOHSE has struggled a little bit. He's given up 5 runs thus far. Pirates have 7 hits. Alvarez takes one in the dirt. Good block by LUCROY.
The only second time this year that LOHSE has allowed more than 3 earned runs in any start. He did it against the Orioles. He allowed 4 earned runs and 5 tonight.
Alvarez is coming off a career year. Made the All-Star team for the first time in his career. Led the National League in home runs last season with 36. He's had back-to-back 30 homer years now. And drove in 100 for the first time in his career last season. But he also led the league in strikeouts. And LOHSE could use one of those here. The 2-2. Opposite field. Davis will play it on a hop. On his way to third goes Martin. And the Pirates drumming up something again against LOHSE. 2 hits to start the inning.
Mike Davis playing very deep. Left fielder against a left-handed hitter. Off the bat, I thought that was going to be caught, but check him out. He's got an angle back, and not sure why he had to angle back so far. I think if you go straight over, that's hindsight, I know, but a little bit of a misplay out there in left field.
First hit of the night for Alvarez, and the Pirates now have 8 hits. First and third, nobody out for Jose Tabata. Bouncing ball foul past third. Well, you feel like the Brewers are going to continue to hit and score, but keeping the Pirates down has been the challenge. They got 2 in the first, added 1 in the third, got 2 more runs in the 5th inning, and putting up a major threat here in the 6th.
And Ron Renneke and Rick Kranitz would love to be able to get LOHSE through this inning. The pitcher spot is due up first to lead off the next inning. You don't want to take a guy out in a double switch. You'd love to be able to get him through this inning, but it's going to be tough the way it started out.
Tabata got the start tonight primarily because of his great numbers against LOHSE in his career. And a little broken bat, flare, that's going to fall, a base hit. A run is in. 3 straight hits to start the inning. And that might do it for Kyle LOHSE.
It's kind of the way the night's gone, and just throws the bat out there, dumps it into right.
6-3 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, take that any day. A little flare out there to right. And the point is, you make contact on a pretty good pitch and dumps it into right field for an RBI.
Yeah, Renneke going to be forced to go with the double switch here. Goes to the home plate umpire first, which indicates a double switch. We'll see what the move's going to be. Looks like Ricky Weeks is on his way out. So the end of the night for LOHSE and Scooter Gennett. And a tough day at the office for Kyle LOHSE. Here comes Thornburg. We'll take a break. The series with the Pirates, they trail 6-3. A run in here in the 6th inning. 2 on, nobody out, and Weeks will enter the game at second base. He'll lead off the next inning, hitting in the 9 spot. And it'll be Tyler Thornburg out of the Brewers bullpen.
Yeah, last pitched on Tuesday against the Twins. That was back at Miller Park. Through 2 scoreless innings, walked a batter, struck out a batter. And very rare that he comes in the middle of an inning with men on base. He's inherited only 4 base runners, but only 1 have scored. So this is somewhat unusual for Tyler to come in the middle of an inning.
And Renneke will try to get multiple innings out of Thornburg, which is why we see the double switch. Marshfield Clinic, leaders in relief. Games pitched among the Brewers. Thornburg appearing in his 27th game. Will Smith is among league leaders with 31 games pitched. They've been used a lot, but they haven't been overused, if that makes sense. I mean, they're pitching in their own windows. Except Smith recently has had the last 3 outings where he's entered the game in the 7th as opposed to the 8th.
And certainly not because the starting rotation hasn't picked up their end of the workload. I mean, they certainly have, but all the close games, Ron Renneke forced to go with the matchups.
Some key hitters coming up here for Thornburg at the bottom of the order. Jordy Mercer with 2 on, first and second, and nobody out. Pirates have Travis Snyder on deck to pinch hit for Wilson. PNC Park is the site of one of Tyler Thornburg's most memorable moments as a Brewers pitcher, and really the moment that put him back on the map and established him as a major league reliever last year. He was probably close to being sent out back to AAA last year when he came in. If I recall the details of that, it was a long rain delay. LOHSE started the game, and Thornburg actually came in and pitched 5 scoreless innings after that long rain delay, and he was on his way after that.
I think LOHSE only pitched, what, 2 innings, maybe 3. But yeah, long rain delay, hour and a half, 2 hours, and he came in and just mowed him down, and gave him a lot of confidence. Ended up with a nice season.
Renick's been talking about getting Thornburg and Kinsler back on track again. Thornburg was lights out to start the year. He's been a little shaky since, not so bad. Renick has a lot of confidence in his young relievers. And Mercer sends one to left, foul. Hit it deep, but well foul, and a souvenir. Mercer homered his last time up. Just his 3rd of the year. The 4th Pirates run.
It's more like a velocity. That 3-1 pitch was 92 miles an hour. Mercer hooked it foul. That one 94. Relievers have been able to keep their velocity up and keep their location to a pretty consistent level, even with all the appearances.
Two on, nobody out, and the 3-2, a shot back up the middle, base hit, and another run is going to score for the Pirates as they pour it on. Now it is 7-3. 4 consecutive hits to start the inning, and Mercer with his 2nd run batted in.
And 3-2 pitch, fastball right down the middle, but down in the strike zone. Mercer able to get a bat on it. I mean, that one split home plate right in half. 2nd 3-2 pitch, and this one into center field for another run.
Pittsburgh with their 7th run on their 10th hit of the night. Mercer has 2 of them. That run belongs to LOHSE. 7 earned runs allowed tonight for LOHSE. And still a runner at second, his responsibility. Here's Travis Snyder off the Pittsburgh bench. Snyder, the most oft-used pinch hitter for Clint Hurdle. He's done a good job in a pinch hitter's role this year. He's 7 for 22, and he's driven in 5 runs. He has a home run off the bench as well.
Yeah, Josh Harrison's success has kept him on the bench.
And Thornburg loses him. And this is starting to look like a meltdown inning for the Brew Crew. Bases loaded. 2 runs are in. Renick is on his way back to the mound.
Yeah, 5 consecutive batters have reached.
This is not a pitching change meeting. There is nobody warming in the Brewers bullpen.
Just trying to calm Thornburg down a little bit.
Five straight batters to reach, 4 hits and a walk. Bases loaded, nobody out. And back to the top of the order. (7-3) Pirates. Josh Harrison, 1 out of 3 tonight. Infield hit and a run scored in the first. Harrison a chance to bust this one wide open. Two and 0.
Just can't find anything to throw for a strike right now. A lonely feeling for not only Thornburg but LUCROY. LUCROY trying to figure out what he can throw for a strike.
And Renicky made the double switch, trying to get multiple innings out of Thornburg. He's having a tough time getting through the 6th. 3-0. Can be a lonely feeling on that mound. Ball 4. Bases loaded walk makes it 8-3. And that'll close the book on Kyle LOHSE. 8 earned runs allowed.
And still nobody out.
6 consecutive base runners to reach. RBI the easy way for Harrison. Bases still loaded, nobody out. And here is Neil Walker.
And not much the skipper can do but watch. He's already made a trip to the mound. Nobody getting loose. This is Thornburg's inning.
Well, Neil Walker drove in a run with a single in the 5th. Strike 2.
He started Walker out in this at bat with a changeup and then came back with a fastball. You can see LUCROY is just kind of hunting for a strike. He got a strike with a changeup, and that might get Thornburg back into the groove.
McCutchen will hit next. Thornburg needs a strikeout here. And he gets one. Down goes Walker. A changeup from Thornburg. Struck him out on 3 pitches for the first out of the inning.
And 2 of the 3 pitches changeup. There you go. First pitch changeup, then fastball, and then gets him with a real good change. And now a ground ball gets you out of this mess. That's a heck of a pitch.
Well, maybe he has found it. A single and 2 walks to start the outing for Thornburg. 3 runs are in, all belonging to LOHSE. And here is Andrew McCutchen now. Bases loaded, 1 out. Swinging away at another first pitch curveball. McCutchen hit a first pitch breaking ball out of the ballpark off LOHSE in the 3rd inning.
That's what makes him so tough to pitch to. I mean, he doesn't look for a certain pitch. He looks for location. Whether it's a fastball or a breaking pitch. If it's where he wants it, he's going to hack at it.
Now LOHSE's earned run average jumps from 2.60 to 3.27 tonight with 8 earned runs in 5 innings. Most earned runs he allowed in a game was 4. He did that just once. Other than that, it's been 3, 2, or 1, and then had that shutout his last time out. Strike 2.
He's got better command of his off speed than he does with his fastball right now. Another changeup. That one catching the inside corner.
Now the Brewers hoping for a ground ball here. He's tough to double up McCutchen. He runs so well. 2-strike pitch. McCutchen able to lay off. Went with a breaking ball again. Inning started with 4 consecutive singles and then back-to-back walks before the strikeout to Walker. Brewers down 5. It's 8-3. And McCutchen swings and misses. Down he goes. Back-to-back strikeouts of Walker and McCutchen.
It looked like McCutchen trying to hit his first career grand slam in that at bat. Big hacks. Another off-speed pitch from Tyler Thornburg, and McCutchen with the big hack pulls his head, and a wild swing and a miss.
So bad it was good. It hung up there so long. And now Thornburg a chance to get out of the inning. 9th batter of the inning here, Ike Davis. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Davis takes a ball. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's the only Pirate that has not reached base in this game tonight. Only Pirate regular in the starting lineup without a hit. Two and nothing on Davis. And it's ball 3.
You see, the fastball has really been a trouble pitch for him. Just can't get it over the plate. It's been the changeup. It's been the breaking pitch for strikes.
Well, your team's up 5. You have the bases loaded. You're the cleanup hitter. You swinging away 3-0.
Absolutely.
And he takes ball 4. Another walk with the bases loaded for Thornburg. And another run coming in. It is 9-3 now. About as ugly as you can get here in the 6th inning.
Yeah. Well, the base on balls. Not much you can do about the hits, but the base on balls is something you can control.
So the 10th batter of the inning, the guy who started this mess with a base hit to right, Russell Martin. 2 hits. He's been hit by a pitch tonight. And he swings and sends one to center field. Gomez will watch it bounce off the wall. And this is going to bring in 3 runs. It's a double for Russell Martin. And the doors have been blown off here in the 6th inning. Pirates up 12-3.
Ball seems to be carrying pretty well out here tonight. No real breeze to speak of at this point, but Martin gets a fastball in on him, pulls the hands in, and Gomez watches it ricochet off of that fence about midway up and clears the bases. Boy, a 7-run 6th inning from Pittsburgh. Can't remember this kind of an outburst in an inning against the Brewers pitching staff this year.
Now the Pirates had the other big inning against Milwaukee. That was back on the 17th of April. The most runs allowed in an inning by Brewer pitching was 6 until tonight. 7 in the frame. It's 12-3. And Alvarez in a 1-1 count. Seven runs on 5 hits. Pirates also have the most hits allowed, or the Brewer pitchers have the most hits allowed against the Pirates, better stated, in an inning. 6 hits in an inning. Happened twice. One of those against the Cubs as well. So the kind of superlatives you don't want to have to update. One of those nights for Tyler Thornburg.
Yeah, 31 pitches in an inning he didn't even start.
LOHSE giving up 3 of the runs. Thornburg with 4, and he just can't find it. And it's his inning. Bullpen is quiet. Start thinking about tomorrow at this point, trying to figure out how you get to the finish line.
Yeah, you're right. This is Wei Chung Wong material here. This is a spot where you want to use him maybe as much as you can.
And another walk.
Yeah, but still nobody getting loose in the Brewers' pen. Yeah, 33 pitches for Tyler Thornburg, and he's walked 4 in this inning.
So the 12th batter of the inning coming up, Jose Tabata. Well, if you're looking for a silver lining tonight, the Cardinals are losing. 7th inning, Blue Jays at home against St. Louis. A 2-1 lead over the Cardinals. Cardinals are in the middle of a stretch of road games a lot like the Brewers, where they started in Kansas City. And then they go to Toronto. They have a weekend series in Toronto, and then they go to Tampa Bay. A 3-city road trip for the Redbirds as well. Just like the Brewers. The Brewers will finish this road trip in New York against the Mets. There's former Pittsburgh property, Wei Chung Wong, getting loose.
Yeah, the fact the Cardinals are losing, I'd feel a lot better. You mentioned you'd feel a lot better. But if it was September 6th.
Right. Bouncing ball through, a base hit. Another run's coming in. Martin scores the 8th run of the inning. 13-3. RBI single for Jose Tabata, who has 2 hits and 2 RBIs tonight. Whoa, what a disaster. Mercer takes a strike.
That just goes to show you how quickly things can turn around. I mean, as good as Thornburg has been, you have one outing, one single outing, and you can just blow up your earned run average. It doesn't take much in this game. You can say the same for Kyle LOHSE. All the good work he's done. He's 8th in the earned run average in the National League. One bad outing, and all of a sudden it goes up, nearly a run on you. And, Thornburg is going to be experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, Thornburg's ERA is now at 4.30. He's given up 5 earned runs in this inning. Thornburg's ERA to start this inning was 2.83 as Mercer cuts and misses.
Doesn't take long to have an earned run average go up, but it takes you an awfully long time to get it back down. That's what makes this game so difficult, so tough on you. It just keeps coming at you day after day, and You have one glitch on the radar screen, and it could cost you big.
Ball at 2 strikes, and Mercer a bouncing ball to short. And this inning is mercifully over. The Pirates score 8 runs, and they lead 13-3.
One low price, $20 gets you 1 Terrace Reserve ticket to a select Brewers game, 1 general admission ticket to the Milwaukee County Zoo, and a free beverage tumbler. Visit brewers.com/zoo.
Speaking of zoo, Rock, did you see the latest release of Wei Chung Wednesday?
No.
It's pretty funny. It involves a gorilla, actually a man in a gorilla suit. I believe it was Will Smith. You should check it out. Just Google it.
Did they get that
Wednesday?
Did they get that idea when they did the Coos for Kids at the zoo?
I think they might have.
Because they were staring at a big gorilla.
Travis Snyder will stay in the game to play right. Harrison goes over to left. Talbot is out. Jeanmar Gomez is in the pitch. And Clint Hurdle obviously wanting to get a couple of innings out of him tonight. So a disaster bottom 6th inning for the Brew Crew. 8 runs on 6 hits. 4 walks, an ERA buster for LOHSE and Thornburg. And it is a 13-3 game with Ricky Weeks batting for the first time.
I might take the opportunity, Brown, ready to get LUCROY out of the game. You might see RAMIREZ sit the rest of this one out. Going through his lineup card, seeing what he wants to do.
Might be a great opportunity to have Telly call a few innings. Finish us up strong.
You know, that's a great idea.
Pull a little Vin Scully action.
Me and Telly up here?
No, Telly on his own the rest of the way, like Vin Scully.
Oh, I get it.
Telly's up for that. He's got the best seat in the house down there by the Brewers dugout. As Ricky Weeks bounces to short, and the first out. Well, we had a carsoup.com trivia question. We appreciate those who have hung around for the answer. The question: which current Brewers players were first-round draft choices selected by Milwaukee? The answer: Ricky Weeks and Ryan Braun. Weeks the 2nd overall pick in 03. And Braun went 5th overall in 05. There you go. Tell them what they've won, Rock.
I'm not sure. They win anything?
Nope, nothing at all.
I think they got a pretty hefty signing bonus for it.
Oh, those 2 players, they won a lot.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. No, I meant those who participated in answering the question correctly. Feeling like most people gave up on it. Gene Segura with 1 away. Did I miss the pierogi races?
Yeah.
When did they do that? Middle of the 6th, like at Miller Park?
A couple innings ago, yeah, I think 6th inning.
Who won tonight?
I think it was Hannah Jalapeno.
Oh, okay.
Beat Saul Sauerkraut at the tape.
Is that right? Saul. Oh, we have video proof. Yeah, you're right, Rock.
And that was Chester Cheese. I'm sorry.
No, that's Hannah.
Yeah, I know, but.
Oh, you mean the Hannah beat
Yeah.
Mrs. Tease?
Not Saul Sauerkraut. It was Chester Cheese.
How do you know that's cheese right there?
I'm guessing.
You know what they say, imitation's the finest form of flattery.
Yeah. You know, and sausage and pierogies go really good together.
Segura strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning. So of all of the imitators out there, what's your favorite non-sausage races around the big leagues?
This one here.
Oh, really?
I do like this one.
What about the sea creatures in Miami?
No. The President's Race is good in D.C.
Yeah, that is a good one. I like that one. Ryan Braun getting welcomed in the box as only he can here in Pittsburgh. Everything going right for the Pirates tonight. 13-3. This was a ball game going into the last inning. And Braun takes a ball.
Yeah, 10 runs in the 5th and 6th innings for the Pirates. An offensive eruption for Pittsburgh. Well, they're about middle of the pack in runs scored in the National League. And they've been starting to swing the bats well even before tonight.
Now the Pirates coming off a 6-4 road trip. They won 3 of the last 4. To finish the road trip on a winning note. Nobody chews gum like Clint Hurdle. Yeah, he's got the jaws to prove it. That is a lifetime of gum chewing every night at a very advanced rate. Former Sports Illustrated cover boy Clint Hurdle while he was playing for the Royals.
He's had a nice managerial career, hasn't he?
Before he took the job as the manager of the Pirates, he was the hitting coach for the Texas Rangers. Part of that World Series team. He and Johnny Naron were together there, the current Brewers hitting coach. They are still close and very similar philosophy. As Braun shoots one to right, a base hit. The kind of boos you want to hear after a success. First hit of the night for Braun.
Very consistent in that approach, isn't he? No matter what the score, never really goes up there, just tries to hit home runs. He will take what the pitcher gives him, and most of the time it's going to be pitches away, and Ryan able to line that one into right field.
Two-out hit for Braun. You see what LUCROY's done at the plate tonight, courtesy of Wendy's. 1 out of 3. Well, the Brewers have had great success against the Pirates this year. Not tonight. Milwaukee's won 6 out of 7 against Pittsburgh this season. Took 3 out of 4 from them here at PNC Park in mid-April. LUCROY center field, and McCutchen is there to end the inning. Stretch time at PNC. All Pirates tonight.
By the all-new Chevy Silverado. All smiles here at PNC Park. The Pittsburgh Pirates with a 13-3 lead. They scored 10 runs in the last 2 innings, in the 5th and the 6th. And the new pitcher on here for the Brewers, Wei-Chung Wong. So the tall left-hander getting an opportunity here tonight. Pirates down by 10. And Wong last pitched on Saturday against the Chicago Cubs. Tossed 2 innings, gave up a run on a couple of hits. So you see his earned run average going down a little bit. You figure that if things stay the same offensively for the Brewers, it's going to be Wong for the 7th and the 8th.
A reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of Brad Weimer and the Milwaukee Brewers. Maldonado will come in to catch. As LUCROY will get some time off. Irving Falou in for Ramirez. Renicky empties out his bench. And
check out with Maldonado behind home plate. Who's leading off this inning?
Travis Snyder.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
They like each other.
Stirring it up a little bit. Let's see if there's any handshakes here. How you doing,
I don't
Travis?
think there's going to be any type of communication whatsoever.
Maldonado gave Travis Snyder a black eye in that brawl on Easter Sunday. It's very awkward at home plate right now. I wonder if John Tumpane knows about that. They do a little advance work, the umpires do, but that would be some pretty deep advance.
Well, I think that Major League Baseball gives them a report based on the history of the 2 teams, and I guarantee these guys know what went on. Whether the fill-in minor league umpire Tumpane understands it, I'm not sure.
Bounces one off his foot. Well, Snyder was suspended. Brewers had 2 players suspended. Maldonado got the biggest of the suspensions, 5 games. Gomez got 3. Little half swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. Snyder's 2nd plate appearance. Drew a walk last inning. Pirates brought 13 batters to the plate last inning. Scored 8 runs. Wong deals a 1-2. And a bouncer. Weeks backhands it. Nice play. Off balance throw, and Snyder is safe. That'll be an infield hit.
Everything they hit ends up as a base hit. I mean, just out of the reach of the Brewers infield, out of the reach of the outfield. It's one of those nights for the Brewers pitching staff. Wong got his ground ball, but by the time Ricky able to stop and make a throw, Snyder able to beat it at first base.
Top of the order, Josh Harrison. Well, you'd like to spin the narrative that Wong wants to have success against his old team, but he doesn't know any of these guys. He was in rookie ball for the Pirates. I mean, Pittsburgh might as well have been Chicago or New York.
Right, and Pittsburgh didn't want to give him up. They thought they were going to be able to hide him down in the Gulf Coast League. Brewers plucked him in the Rule 5 draft. That's why you see him with the Brewers.
Wong had Tommy John surgery 2 years ago. So that was his return year last year. And that's why the Pirates felt like they could bury him in their minor league system. And I think the Pirates made the calculated risk, took the calculated risk that nobody would take him. If they did, still have a chance to get him back. But the Brewers so far have been able to keep Wong in the big leagues, which is what you have to do when you take a player like that in the Rule 5 draft. As Harrison to left, Davis coming in, lays out and makes the catch. Chris Davis, man, do you appreciate that? Down 10 runs in the 7th inning, gives up his body to make a play.
That little flare, wasn't playing all that deep out there in left field. Got a great jump on it. Harrison trying to hook a breaking pitch, and Davis able to come in, stretches out, and keeps it in the glove. Well done. Glove hit the ground first, not the elbow, and stays in there.
Can't teach it. Guys playing hard. Davis is one of those grinder types. There's a strike to switch hitter Neil Walker. Turns around, hits right-handed against Wei-Chung Wong. In the latest installment of the Wei-Chung Wednesday, the one with the
gorilla suit?
the gorilla.
Okay.
Wong played the role of the zookeeper.
And where was Jay?
He was part of the dancing line.
Entourage?
Yeah, he's part of the entourage. There's a soft liner to left. That's going to fall, a base hit. Neil Walker with a single. Second hit of the night. 2 on, 1 out for Wong. Gives us a chance to look forward to tomorrow. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Matt Garza against Edinson Volquez. 2:30 airtime tomorrow on Fox Sports Wisconsin. First pitch just after 3 o'clock. There'll be some tough shadows here tomorrow, I would imagine.
Yes, sir.
A couple of pitchers that'll enjoy the twilight start.
Volquez with the changeup specialist, one of his best pitches.
Andrew McCutchen takes ball 1.
Garza pitched well against the Twins his last time out on Monday. 6 1/3, did not allow a run, 8 punch outs.
Yeah, got the win against his old team. Well, McCutchen hits in his first 2 at-bats. Had a double and an RBI in the first, a home run in the third. 7 homers now. McCutchen pushing his batting average over 300. In line for the win tonight is Pirates starter Brandon Cumpton, which would be his first win of the season. 5 1/3, 3 runs allowed. Bouncing back from a very poor start where he gave up 10 earned runs against the Dodgers. LOHSE on the hook for the loss. And it'll snap a 7-game winning streak for Kyle LOHSE. LOHSE has not lost since his first start of the year against the Braves, April 1st. It's either been wins or no decisions since. Tonight wasn't his night.
I guess you could say he was due for a night like that, right? Of course, not a night where he gives up 8 earnings. He's been so good, very consistent. Just one of those nights. Well, the Pirates put some pretty good swings on him, and the Pirates really have never had much success against LOHSE throughout their career together. 11-2 is LOHSE against the Pirates coming in.
Wong with a full count on McCutchen. Popped him up shallow center, and Gomez is there for the second out of the inning. And it'll be Gabby Sanchez to hit for Ike Davis. with the left-hander on the mound. Managers are always conscientious of their platoon players. Ike Davis and Gabby Sanchez share the duties at first, and even though it's a 10-run lead for the Pirates, you put Ike Davis up there against a left-hander and things don't go well, and all of a sudden you run the risk of putting him in a slump. So you put the guy up there who normally faces left-handed pitching.
Well, plus Sanchez wants some at-bats. I mean, that's a guy that wants to get the at-bats against lefties. Managed to the end. It doesn't matter what the score is. There's always something to keep an eye on, something to be aware of, and that's why they get paid the big bucks. Irving Flew very excited about getting an opportunity to get into the game. He took over for Ramirez. Maldonado gets some playing time. Flew's hoping to get an at-bat tonight.
Even in a blowout, you're always searching, always looking for something to carry over to the next day. 0-2 pitch to Sanchez. Just missed.
Sometimes it's tougher than others, like a night like tonight.
Yeah, Brewers rolled into Pittsburgh about 3 a.m. Going to be a tough trip in that regard, with night game getaway days on 3 of the nights of this road trip. As Sanchez strikes out, and another scoreless inning for Wei-Chung Wong. And it's not even Wednesday. Snowman in the bottom of the 6th inning. The separation. But how about Chris Davis? We're searching for a Marshfield Clinic shining moment. And with the Brewers down 10, Davis still laying out to make a catch. Gotta appreciate that effort right there. Way to go, Chris Davis.
Yep, taking a base hit away from Josh Harrison. Would have been 3 hits in the inning, and probably would have been an earned run on the line of Wei-Chung Wong in that inning had he not made that play.
So here we go to the 8th. New pitcher is Casey Sadler. Just his 3rd appearance. Sadler just called up on June 1st.
Yeah, he was 6-1 with a 266 earned run average. He was a starter down in the minor leagues, made 8 starts, allowed 15 earned runs in 50 2/3 innings.
Taking on a spring training exhibition game feel here with a lot of changes. Pirates have made a Change in center field as well. Starling Marte will take over for Andrew McCutchen. And Sanchez stays in to play first. Harrison over to left field. And Marte getting some playing time in center. There's Sanchez, who struck out to end the inning. Now Wei Chung Wong is now put together 4 consecutive scoreless innings, and he'll be heading back out for the bottom of the 8th. Logan Schaefer pinch hitting for Gomez. First ball swinging. He's out. 1 away. And here comes Irving Falou batting for the first time. Blue Jays still lead the Cardinals 2-1. That game is in the bottom of the 8th. Blue Jays at the bat. Elsewhere in the Central Division, the Phillies are shutting out the Reds 4-0 in the 9th. And the Cubs beat the Marlins in 13 innings today. Little tapper, that is fair. And the play continues, and it's an out. 2 outs.
And just got it before it rolled foul. I think he got it right on that line. Hey, experience Brewers baseball like a VIP in one of Miller Park's 5 spectacular all-inclusive areas. Enjoy the game in style with exclusive amenities, a full buffet, and a complimentary beverage. Tickets start at just $48. Call 414-902-4777 or visit brewers.com/all-in.
See Ron Renicky out, having a quick chat with John Tumpain. That's what players love about Renicky. He'll fight for you, man. He came out, you know, Irving Falou is trying to make a name for himself here.
Get a base hit, you're right.
Every at-bat counts, and just making sure that it wasn't just a mail-in late in the game. If it's fair, call it fair. Foul, call it foul.
All right.
I can appreciate that. Irving Falou does, I promise you. 2 outs. Here is Chris Davis.
Well, you play it straight up until the 27th out. That's the way the game is. Can't run out the clock. And in baseball, umpires, players, broadcasters, the game's the game. Doesn't matter what the score is. Got to finish it out.
Players will tell you in games like this, you can find something every now and then. If you're struggling, or even if you're not, I mean, you're always looking for your opportunities to get game speed. Pitchers can find a release point. There's a strike to Davis. You never know. Garza gets the ball tomorrow. Brewers will try to do what they did the last time they came to Pittsburgh after losing the opening game. Davis hit that big 2-run homer yesterday. Has 2 RBIs tonight. Drove in a run with a single in the 6th. He stole a base, his first of the year. Had a sac fly in the 4th. By the way, in that Toronto-St. Louis game, the Cardinals turned a triple play. Their first triple play in 9 years in the Cardinals organization. As Davis draws the walk. And here comes Martin Maldonado now.
This could be interesting. This at bat.
It's his first at bat since the brawl. $20 years ago, it'd be almost a guarantee he'd be drilled by this pitch. I'm not sure anymore, though.
It's a different game. It really is in a lot of different ways. That's one of the biggest changes. You know, retaliation on the field. I mean, suspensions and fines, and they just can't do it the way they used to do it.
Strike 2 on Maldonado.
They're coming inside on every pitch on him. Russell Martin just keeps creeping further and further inside. That pitch right down the middle, though.
Ball and 2 strikes. Davis at first, and Maldonado is a strikeout victim. Inning over. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Pirates will bat. They lead by 10. Starting to look like the highlight of the night, that Brewers Live post-game show. Huh?
Was Jeff Grayson giving me a hard time there when I said 27th down? I think he was.
Logan Schaefer in the game in center field. Taking over for Gomez. Got an at-bat. And Wei Chung Wong will try to finish this one off for the Brewers. I'm with you, though, man. I'm with 27 outs. Of course, the Pirates are only going to have 24 tonight.
That's what I was going to say, you know, but
Brewers still have to.
You know what I mean when I
know
say
what
27.
You mean. I'm with you.
Play it to the end.
I know what you mean. They've been stirring it up a little bit here tonight. It's been very calm on the field. I was expecting a little more retaliation.
You're disappointed, weren't you?
You know, there was a reason to kind of keep us tuned in. Now, I don't know. Would like to see Wong finish this out with a couple of scoreless innings. Watch his confidence grow a little bit.
Well, you never know. You might see something you've never seen before. It doesn't matter what the score. Remember, we have to go back to that again.
It's a good speech, though. I
Win
like
one
that
for
speech.
the Gipper.
I like it. It's a character builder. This is where you find out who's in and who's out.
That's right.
Russell Martin leads the way, and Wong missing upstairs. Now Martin drove in 3 runs with a double in that eruption in the 6th, that 8-run inning. And Wong walks him on 4 straight. You just said you never know what you're going to see. Like Wei Chung Wong in a zookeeper's outfit.
Yeah.
With Will Smith in a gorilla suit.
In the batting cage.
That's a Wei Chung Wong Wednesday, by the way. That was the latest installment. Oh, boy. I think that was Will Smith in the gorilla suit. You see, the idea was when he put the headphones on, that's when everybody Wei Chung.
Right, I get it.
And then they all started dancing, and it's kind of funny.
Nope, I've never seen that before. You're right, see? You proved my point.
Wong's been a good sport about all this.
I've never seen a gorilla in a batting cage in a big league ballpark.
Early in the video, the best part is when the gorilla gets a banana and then he throws it at Wei Chung Wong. And of course, it's Will Smith, so he threw a pretty good fastball left-handed.
Yeah.
You don't see many left-handed gorillas. I mean, when you think about it, they just aren't out there. They're rare. There'll be better days. Keep things in perspective.
Jeff made a good point back at the studio. This is the way that series started last time the Brewers were here. You know, the Pirates erupted late in that ball game, a game that got away from the Brewers late, and then they came back and won the next 3. So one day does not necessarily run into the next. Things turn around very quickly.
Now Wong with a couple of batters aboard here. The walk and then the single by Alvarez. And here is Starling Marte. This is the bat the Pirates would love to get going again. He is in a major slump. Signed a 5-year deal with the Pirates last season. And what was his first full season in the big leagues, or after his first full season? I believe he is hitless in his last 19 at-bats. Marte was counted on to be the everyday left fielder for the Pirates. He and McCutchen were going to be out there every day as that gets by Maldonado. Both runners will advance. Second and third. Nobody out. And a bouncer to Weeks. And they get him. Out number 1. Another run is in. 14-3 Pittsburgh. That'll be an RBI for Marte on the ground out. And here is Jordy Mercer, who has driven in a pair tonight on 2 hits. Wei Chung Wong delivers a strike. Got Garza and Volquez tomorrow, Gallardo and Charlie Morton for the finale Sunday. The Brewers will have Monday off in New York, and then a 3-game series with the Mets beginning Tuesday. Marco Estrada, Willie Peralta, then Kyle LOHSE. They'll be back on the mound. Another good pitcher's park. Citi Field in New York. This will bring in another run. And Weeks makes the play for out number 2. So the wild pitch leads to a couple of runs here. But 2 outs, nobody on. It's 15-3 Pirates. Mercer with 3 RBIs tonight. "22-year-old Wei Chung Wong, one of 4 players in the big leagues from Taiwan." Ooh, that hit him. Got him on the shin. And that'll be a base hit for Snyder. He didn't start. He gets 3 plate appearances and is 2 for 2 with a walk. And let's see if Wong's all right. Renicky on his way out with athletic trainer Dave Yeager, the interpreter Jay Shee.
Snyder hangs right in there against the left-hander and bangs it right back through the middle. His second base hit. Both of his hits infield hits. I'm going to run the back of the calf. And Ron Renicky is certainly hoping that he is going to be able to finish this night.
Looks like he's all right. Renicky just telling the interpreter to tell Wong, make sure he's all right. Throw a couple of pitches in there. You certainly don't want to risk an arm injury. That's what happened to Dizzy Dean, you know. Had a foot injury and tried to pitch through it, ended up hurting his arm.
Is that what Dizzy told you?
Yeah, we had a chat back in the day. I was trying to make the connection between Wei Chung Wong and Dizzy Dean.
Okay.
That's not one you thought you were going to get tonight.
See, that's why you stick around.
That's right. It's a bonus. Harrison into center field, and that will retire the Pirates. 15-3. The Brewers need 12 to tie. Might as well get 13. Crew down 15-3, allowing 16 hits. Tough night for Kyle LOHSE. Most earned runs he's allowed this year. His ERA jumps into the 3.2s. And a tough outing for Tyler Thornburg as well, coming out of the bullpen. A lot of bridges here in Pittsburgh, and that's all right. That's good energy late in the game with the binoculars on, scorebook in hand, dancing to a little Michael Jackson. I like it. That's good. That's good effort. Any analysis on that, Rock?
I have none, other than the fact that I love the way these folks have stuck around.
Started with a crowd of 35,000. Mark Reynolds will lead off. Whoa, buzz bomb inside. Don't forget, Brewers Live coming up. Jeff Grayson, Jerry Augustine, Telly Hughes will be providing post-game sound. Never fun to go into the clubhouse after a night like this, as Reynolds Singles to left. Base hit for Mark Reynolds, his first hit of the night.
That's the thing about baseball. I mean, it comes at you every day. We've been talking about that all night. And hey, go into the clubhouse after a game like this. You know, the Brewers had a very late night last night, and you know, guys are still going to be, you know, willing to answer the questions. Kyle LOHSE will be there to answer the questions. Ron Renneke. That's a great thing about baseball. You have tomorrow to forget about it. You know, in a game like this, I mean, I think everybody's going to get a pretty good night's sleep. I mean, those games when you lose 2-1, those are the ones that keep you awake. Tonight was just one of those whippings that get thrown at you from time to time.
It happens.
Yeah.
What kind of questions are you going with tonight, Taylor? Do you have your, you know, your blowout loss questions all lined up?
Oh boy, it's just kind of one of those. See how it goes. Get the temperature.
Ricky Weeks into center field, and he hits it over the head of Marte. Reynolds all the way to third. He'll stop there, and that'll be a double for Ricky Weeks.
Misplayed out there by Marte. Not only is he having a tough time at the plate, he's having a tough time defensively. This is certainly a misjudged line drive by Starling Marte on a ball that was crushed by Ricky. He comes across. He should have gone back, and no chance for him. And been that kind of a year for him, or at least that kind of a start to the season.
You know, the word that the Pirates personnel use to describe Marte right now is that he is just lost. He's lost at the plate defensively, throwing to the wrong bases. Hard to figure a guy who the Pirates believe so strongly, and they give him a multi-year contract when he just arrived to the big leagues.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. They did the same for Jose Tabata. They gave him a big long contract.
Yeah.
Actually sent him down to the minor leagues, and he has come back a much different player. You might see that here. Sometimes a little bit of a wake-up call doesn't hurt you.
Gum still intact. I feel like Clint Hurdle could be in one of those strongman contests where they put the, you know, the bar in the jaw and they drag the semi.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that? I could see that. Guy's got some jaws, doesn't he? It's like a pit bull over there.
He's a strong man, and not just the jaws. He does work that gum, though. I guess you'd rather see that than chewing tobacco, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of sugar going on.
That's
but,
okay.
You know.
Better than tobacco.
Segura in the air to center field. And Marte will make the catch. Reynolds will come home. And Segura will get credit for an RBI. The Brewers down 11 now. Chipping away at it. Sac fly RBI for Segura, his 17th ribby of the year. Here comes Braun. Braun had a hit his last time up. Was Telly finished or did I cut him off? I can't remember. I think he was done.
I think he was done. I think he was trying to search his notebook as to what kind of questions to ask.
Okay. Just making sure. On the first pitch, Mercer spins and fires, makes the play. Nicely done. Another RBI for Braun, another run in. And Braun will finish 1 for 5 with his 31st run batted into the year. Heck of a play by Mercer. We love seeing great plays in blowout games. That shows a lot.
Yeah, he's got a great arm. Very strong defensively, and he's had a pretty good day at the plate.
3 runs batted in for Mercer at the plate tonight. Brewers down to their last out. Here's Lyle Overbay. It'll be the Pirates' second win of the year against the Brewers. Milwaukee 6-2. As Overbay grounds to second with the shift on, and that's that. This one belongs to the Pirates. After an 8-run inning, they win it 15-5.